Hey folks, Cody here, back with another beginner bluegrass exercise, lick, run, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to share with you here how I approach putting these pieces together. Because honestly, the way that I start, building bluegrass breaks and licks and exercises and things when I'm playing is just putting these little chunks together that I've learned over the years, all right? If you'd like to follow along, I've got the tab down in the description for you. So I'm going to break this down into two parts. The first lick here starts on our root note G on our 3rd fret high E string, okay? So in the realm of bluegrass music, the G chord is very important. There's our root note on the low E string, and then whatever note is right there, all the way down the neck, is going to be on the high E string as well, okay? So we're starting right there on that important root note G. We're going 3rd fret to the 1st fret, all right? And then we're going to do the same thing on the 3rd fret of the B string. Okay, so we've got, then we're going 3rd fret G string to open, so we're going, and then 3rd fret D string sliding to the 4th fret open on our G string, right there, okay, again, okay, go real slow here. Alright, now I'm going up, down on my picking pattern. I know if you're beginning that might be hard. It's completely okay to go like down, 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 down to get your hands working together, producing this lick, the sound that you want, making it sound clean, but just keep in mind that as you speed this lick up, you're going to be forced to go down, up, down, up, down, up. Alright, that's a general rule in bluegrass music. You're not going to be able to play fast unless you get that down. So okay, you want to make sure that your fingers are, staying curled, but what I really mean by that is like you're finding the points on your finger to where when you're making these notes, and it's different for everybody and depending on the style of guitar you're playing and whatnot and how far the strings are off the neck, but it needs to sound clean, all right? You won't get the full sounding effect if you're not, all right? And so you just have to really kind of tune in to how much pressure you're applying. Again, this comes with repetition. It's called muscle memory. But just be careful to make them sound as clean as you can, all right? That's when you really, have that confidence that it feels good, it sounds good, all right? Because you might have a tendency to hit extra strings or deaden these notes as you're playing them. All right, now how I would approach this and how I like to practice licks if I don't have the metronome on or what have you, if it's sort of noisy, is to play them repetitively, but play them while that last note's ringing out. So you'd go, and then start the repetition. Let all that ring out. Okay? And that's going to train your ear to understand, just how important that is to making this all cohesive, right? And then as you start building these up and you're moving up and down the neck, you got to make sure that these are all ringing out. The notes that are important, which you'll learn the more you play, that it's all cohesively ringing out, and that's what makes it sound really cool, really full, okay? The second part of the lick is basically that classic G run that we play at the end of measures in bluegrass music, but the way I'm using it here is I'm using that open G at the end of that lick as the start of the G run, okay? And then from there, letting that ring out, right? And then I'm going open on my 1st fret A string, open, then sliding from the 1st to the 2nd fret on the A string. So then open on our D string, and then pulling off on our D string, 2nd fret. I'm gonna play that fast and cleaner. Okay, so all together. Alright folks, if you found this helpful, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I am trying to spread bluegrass music around to a wider audience. And if you would like to keep learning with me, I go more in depth on all of this in my beginner bluegrass course, where I lay out everything you need to know to basically become a bluegrass flat picker. foundationally speaking, of course. And so if you know your GCD chords, that's basically where we pick up. We're going to start with the 45 licks and exercises in the keys of G, C, and D, where we're mostly working with in bluegrass music. There's modules on rhythm, and then we're eventually going to work through 15 bluegrass breaks and instrumentals, what you'd be expected to sort of know and understand at your first bluegrass jam. And so it's really cool. There's a lot of goodies in there. There's comes with tabs on the screen. And really, I'm very concerned about you learning and progressing your bluegrass skills. So if that's something you are interested in, there's information in the description. Folks, we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.